I'd rather one should walk with me than just to show the way. The eye is a better pupil and more willing than the ear. Advice may be misleading, but examples are always clear. And the very best of teachers are the ones who live their creed. For to see good put into action is what everybody needs. I can soon learn how to do it if you let me see it done. I can watch your hand in motion, but your tongue too fast may run. And the lectures you deliver may be very fine and true, but I'd rather give my lessons by observing what you do. For I may misunderstand you in the fine advice you give, but there's no misunderstanding how you act and how you live your creed. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is indeed an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege to have the opportunity to be here this morning. This is seeing a sermon right here. Before I get into my message that I want for you all, for the parents this morning, I want to just give you a little bit of my background and why it is so important for what you all are doing and for the work that I believe that I'm doing each and every day. I started off in the field of human services. 21 years ago, my very first job in the human service field, I worked as a job coach for an organization called Prisoners Release Ministry. You see, there's something going on in our society, right? In 1975, there was less than 10,000 people incarcerated in the state of Illinois. What's the number today? Anybody know? Close to 50,000 individuals incarcerated in the state of Illinois. So my job was a job coach. I would help men and women as they were released from prison to try to find a job. And if anybody who knows anybody who has been through that experience themselves, you know that that is a very difficult thing to do. And so that led me into working with young people. I said, you know what? My time and my talents and my skills would be better served if I can work with youth, work with young people, and help to prevent them from ever having to go into that system.
Well, hearing Mr. McGhee speak today was just so inspiring. Just hearing him speak on today gave me some sense of more hope and some more faith on today. I know that the Bible says that now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. But just him speaking on today, it just put a rumble in my spirit. It put some life in my soul.
If you all as parents will not partner with the teachers and the faculty and staff of this institution, then your sons cannot succeed to the level that we need them to succeed. We want to give our sons the opportunity to succeed. And as I tell my daughter, who's 11 years old, I have a campaign for her right now. It's called A Husband for Maya. Because if your son succeeds, my daughter has a future husband. If your son succeeds, then we have future productive and positive families built in our communities. There's a narrative being written in this country right now, I believe. When you turn on the TV, I don't care what channel it is, you're hearing about how dangerous I am. You're hearing about the fact that I don't have character. They're taking a broad brush and they're saying young black men are menacing and they're threatening. They're not able to clearly articulate themselves. There's a narrative being written, and we want a counter narrative that say when given the chance, when young men are given the chance, the opportunity to learn, the opportunity to be creative, that they can do anything that they put their mind to. Absolutely anything. How many of you believe that?
We just got blessed by a wonderful speaker this morning, Mr. McGhee. I was really touched about the positive influence that he's pushing amongst parents to be more involved with their children. And I feel the same way, and I was glad that he came and spoke to us because we need more parents involved with what's going on in our children's lives. Because without us pushing them and inspiring them to be what they should be or want to be, I don't think it would be fair to them and for their lives. But Mr. McGhee, he came out with a strong message that he had for us, and I appreciate that, and I wish that he can go out and deliver this message to all children around the whole Chicago area, because they actually need it for their parents to actually hear it.
And one of the things that I say is, I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how many skills you are, how good you are on the football field, basketball, because, you know, they sell us that. Yeah. That's what we are, you know. Almost every young brother I talk to, I say, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'm going to the NBA. I'm going to the NFL. I'm going to be the next Lil Wayne. But do you know we have some young men that can be lawyers? They can be doctors. They can be engineers. They can be scientists. They can be chemists. But what I tell these young men that have these hoop dreams, and I don't want to kill anybody's dreams, but what I tell them is you cannot allow your talent to take you where your character won't keep you. Yeah, let me say that again. You cannot allow your talent to take you where your character won't keep you. See, it's what you're doing when nobody's looking at counts. Nothing in this world that's great, that's magnificent, that has anything worth meaning or value was ever created or developed or discovered without a great deal of enthusiasm. My father came from the South. He picked cotton in the South. And I tell this story all the time. My father didn't have the opportunity to graduate from high school. He dropped out after 8th grade to go work in the cotton fields. That's just the reality. Can anybody relate? Anybody know some people in their family that had to do that? For years, I didn't know that my father couldn't read that well, for years. But one thing my father did was he carried a dictionary around with him everywhere he went. If he didn't know how to spell something, he would look it up. But the thing that he always said, and he said it with a great deal of enthusiasm, was, son, get the education that I didn't get. Because do you know that we're supposed to stand on the shoulders of those who came before us? As a matter of fact, sir, every generation should get better. Every generation should get better. My mother, she finished high school, she went to cosmetology school, but she didn't have the opportunity to go to college. But their message to me and my 3 sisters was, get the education that we didn't get. And between me and my 3 sisters, we have earned 8 degrees. It's possible. All I want you all to know is that it's possible. You can do it if you continue to do this.
Good morning, my name is Angela Williams. I'm a parent of a 6th grader. His name is Mackay Brandon, and I just heard Mr. Mack McGhee speak, and I was thoroughly impressed. He did say that we should not allow our talent to take us where our character won't keep us, and that was one of the most motivating factors that he said today. We need to get away from buying off our children and buying into our children. There was a lot of other more key points, but he's very well spoken, very encouraging. His words touched the heart.
You have to have a great deal of love for self. A lot of what our young men are going through these days, they're unsure of themselves. They're dealing with maybe low self-esteem. They're trying to figure out who they are. They're trying to fit in. And so when you have a strong love for self as a parent, then you can extend that love to them. One thing I knew with my mother and my father, I knew I was loved. I knew I was loved. My father probably, and both of them have passed on, but I think my father probably was 60 before he started actually telling me that he loved me, right? But he did tell me that. But he showed me through his actions. He showed me through his care and concern. And he wasn't always in the house. How many of us can relate to that? He wasn't always in the house. And I don't mean he just went to the store either. But I knew where he was. I was able to reach out and touch him. Or a matter of fact, when my mother would call him, he was able to reach out and touch me. They have to know that we love them, because if they feel love, then they develop confidence. They develop a healthy level of self-esteem. So they won't get pulled into situations that are outside of their character. When they're getting around some buddies that want to do something that's outside of their character and outside of the love that you have shown them, they'll say, hey man, I don't do that. That's not what I do. Now I'm not judging you, but I don't do that.
We just got finished hearing Mr. Mack McGhee. He did a phenomenal job. He inspired us all to be better people, better parents, and just help this world grow in a great way. He taught us, gave us various skills to help our boys be productive and successful citizens of not only our community, but the community as a whole.
I lost my mother in 2006. Lost my father in 2011 after a long illness. He had Parkinson's. I'm I'm driving down 75th Street, probably about 6 months ago. And I don't know, you know how we be in our car just thinking about stuff, right? Don't even know where the thought came from. And I said, my parents prepared me for a day that they wouldn't be here. I'm here, and I'm okay.
That's right.
And they've gone on. And I'm going to stand on what they provided for me, the structure. I didn't always like the structure.
Come on.
I didn't like them, for the people that, I'm 43, for the people, I didn't like them taking my Atari. No vision. My handheld bag, I didn't like them taking that stuff. You remember that?
Yes.
But if they hadn't have took it, I wouldn't be standing here now. See, they took some things to teach me some things. We have to stop buying off our kids. See, our young people, our young men need for somebody to believe in them. And I tell young men all the time, sometimes you have to believe in the belief that others have in you until your own belief kicks in.
Say it one more time.
Sometimes you have to believe in the belief that others have in you until your own belief kicks in. Words have magnetic power. And so if we just speak a thing and believe in that thing, it will come to fruition. Though it tarry, wait on it. An old man going along to a chasm vast and wide and steep, with waters rolling cold and deep. The old man crossed in the twilight dim. The sullen streams had no fears for him. But he turned when safe on the other side and built a bridge that would span the tide. Oh man, said a fellow pilgrim near, you are wasting your strength for building here. Your journey will end with the ending day. You never again will pass this way. You've crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build you this bridge at eventide? The builder lifted his old gray head, good friend, in the path I've come, he said. There follows after me today a youth whose feet must pass this way. The chasm that was as not to you, to that fair-haired youth may pitfall be. He too must cross in the twilight dim. Good friend, I'm building this bridge for him. Good friend, we are